Hey guys, this is WhiteTiger with another Wi-Fi battle. Now I haven't had any battles in the last few days and I really needed some to upload. So I did what I really do not like to do, and I went to the serebii Wi-Fi chat room, which I will tell you I sort of regret. I've had a few battles on there today and they were all pretty awful. I've lost most of them, not to lie. And oh god, they all took so long. I must have done 3 battles, all taking at least maybe like an hour long each. I swear everybody used the most stally Pokemon. But that's serebii for you. That's not the most competitive place to go, I suppose. Well, not the most fun place to find battles, but you know, oh well, I went there. And this battle was the best of the bunch I had. It's against a person who went by the name ViVi on the chat. So without going on any longer, I will just start the battle here. You're challenged by Vivian. He leads off with his Weavile, I lead off with my Psycho. Now I know this thing is probably going to taunt me or just try and kill me off, so I'm going to go straight for the Fire Blast as he hits me with a Night Slash. And I know I have the Sash, so I'm going to take that. And I'm just hoping the Fire Blast will hit here. And it will hit him, but I know he's going to have the Sash. But I wanted to just see what this thing was going to do and pretty much kill it off. Or leave it in as easy to kill later. Now I'm going to switch out knowing he hasn't got Stealth Rocks up, so my Azelf can switch in later. And I do have Rapid Spin on this thing if somebody decides to set up rocks. Somebody? One of his Pokemon. And he goes into his Tentacle here as I go for the Surf expecting his Taunt. So that was a good play on his part. He is not going to take much damage from that because it is a specially bulky Pokemon Tentacle. And I'm going to go into my Draco here, expecting the Rapid Spin, expecting him to expect me to go for the Spikes, and he does do that, so that's good. Now I'm going to go for the Substitute, expecting him to switch out, which he does, and he goes into Skarmory, which is a lovely fun Pokemon to deal with. So I'm just going to stay in here and try the Stone Edge, but it does miss there, and he will kill me off, kill off my sub with a Steel Wing. So I'm going to go into my Clomp, knowing it can take a Steel Wing really well, and he's going to taunt me there, so that's not very good. But I'm just going to go for the Surf because I know this thing hasn't got much special bulk to it, so it should do a fair bit, and it does around a third. And he's just going to Steel Wing me there. That's not going to do anything. This thing is completely defensively bulky, so it's not going to take any damage from that. So I'm going to go into my Raw here, and I know the Steel Wing, if it does hit me, wouldn't do much, so I know it was a safe switch. And now I'm going to go into my Dark Knight as he goes into his Blissey, expecting his Toxic there. And he does go for it, and the reason I did that was because of Synchronize. I know he has a natural cure ability, but I don't want this thing to stay in and just be Blissey-like to me. And his Skarm comes back in. I mean, don't you just love dealing with Skarmory and Blissey in the same battle? It's just so much fun. And I'm just going to yawn because I predicted that switch in, so he won't be able to stay in without falling asleep. So I'm going to go for a Curse on his switch out. So that's good, but I have got the Toxic on me, so I know I can't stay in and set up all day. So I'm just going to go for a Payback after he decides to go for Toxic Spikes, which isn't too bad. I do have the Rapid Spin still on my Cloyster, so I'm going to go for that Payback, and his health goes down and down. I'm seeing how much it's going to do, but it does kill him with a crit. I'm pretty sure that probably mattered. It is a pretty bulky Pokemon, even if mainly special variety. But sorry if that did, but I'm not really going to complain because I just was happy to get rid of that thing. And he goes for the Taunt here as he sends in his Skarmory, as I go for the Yawn. Well predicted on his part, but you know, I don't really have much to do with this thing. I mean, my Roar is my best counter to it, and it's not really doing its job right now because he just keeps switching out. So this thing's being a bit of a pain to me now. As I said, I switch it in here, and he goes for the Steel Wing, which will do nothing. And I know he's going to switch out and get into his Blissey or whatever again, but I decided to go straight for the Thunderbolt again. And this thing is Spec, so I know it's going to do not too bad damage considering it's a Blissey. It does around a quarter, which is pretty good considering. And his Blissey is just sitting there laughing at me at how I can't deal with it. And he goes for the Softbolt as I switch into my Clomp. And I'm just going to try and set up on this thing best I can, because I know it can't hurt my Clomp very much. I mean, it's probably got the Seismic Toss, but I will last a few turns like that. And he's actually got the counter there, so that's quite interesting to see. But I am just going to set up Spikes here, go for my second layer, and he goes for the counter again, which is Nah, that's pretty good. He's not going to do much damage because I'm not sure what he's expecting me to do exactly, because even if I do the rapid spin, which I will do in a minute, it's not going to do much to counter. An explosion is not going to be able to hit me if I explode, is it? So I'm not sure what he was expecting there, but I do go for the rapid spin, and he actually goes for the toxic. So that was quite funny. He probably expected me to switch, obviously. So not too bad there. I basically just got 4 turns of setting up for free, and this is where I just decided to explode. I'm just hoping and praying this is going to kill it. I haven't got any attack EVs invested in this thing, and even though Blissey is incredibly defensively weak, it does have a lot of bulk, and as you saw there, it does survive in low red. So that is not good, but it's not a big deal because I can just go into my VAR, and judging by the damage it did before, just hit it with a Thunderbolt, and thank God he stays in there, and I just get to kill it off because I just don't like dealing with that thing, and I love to see it die. So his Blissey dies, which is brilliant. Now he goes into his next bulky Pokemon, which is a Swampert, and that's he's got about, I think I counted 4 bulky Pokemon. So I guess this guy is a very defensive battler, which is okay I suppose, but it does make the battles drag on a heck of a lot. This was actually probably one of the shorter of my battles today, believe it or not, being 9 minutes as you will see in below there. Double speed. Anyway, as you saw there, I just go into my Azelf expecting his Earthquake, which he does, and I go for the explosion, and he switches into his Arcanine and it dies. So that's good, they're both dead. Now I go into my Draco and he goes into his little Ponch again, or Punch, but should be Paunch because Falcon Paunch, yeah, you know, stuff. And Earthquake isn't going to do all that much, but I just want to stay in and try and do as much damage as possible. He actually has an Avalanche, and I do have the Yachi Berry, which is pretty much a bit of an experiment to see what it can survive and what not. Because I want to have something that makes it seem like it's actually scarfed, and obviously Life Orb and Leftovers will give it away, so it's just to play around, but it didn't work too well there obviously, and it does die, and I revenge kill it with my VAR, going for the Shadow Ball, because obviously the Thunderbolt won't affect it. Now he goes into his Weavile there, which will die to the spikes I set up earlier. And now he goes into his Skarmory, and because I'm locked into Thunderbolt, I'm going to switch, not Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball. I'm going to switch out into my Dark Knight as he goes for the boost. And I just want him to kill me off here, so I have the safe switch back into my VAR, and I'll be able to kill it off with one Thunderbolt because it hasn't got good special defense. But I decided to stay in here just to try to get to sleep in case it tries to do anything funny, but he predicts that and goes for the Taunt, which is good on his part. And this is where I realised I made a big mistake. He goes for the Stealth Rock. Now if I just switched out straight away instead of trying to yawn him, I could have survived even a Steel Wing and the Stealth Rock and the poison I have on it, and still hit him with a Thunderbolt. But because I let him set up those Stealth Rocks, I switch out here in case he goes for the Spikes, because I know if he goes for the Spikes I have no chance. And I'm just praying that I can take a Steel Wing, a Stealth Rocks and the poison here. I'm watching and I die. It must have been single digit HP there that I died by, and I was kicking myself so much for not switching in earlier. And I now know that he has the game because my Jet cannot hurt this thing. I actually go for the Ice Punch there, and I was for some reason thinking it would be super effective, completely forgetting that the Steel resists Ice, so it becomes neutral. And he's going for the Steel Wing. It's not going to do much to me either. So I know I have only one chance, and that's to sacrifice my Dark Knight here and switch out from Ice Punch to Waterfall because my Jet is actually scarfed. So I do sacrifice it there to the Steel Wing, go into my Jet, and basically the only way I can win now is to get some flinch or crit hacks, and this is where the battle gets particularly stalled out, boring, whatever you want to call it. But pretty much it's me waterfalling, praying for crits and flinches just so I can kill it off, or for him to get a crit so the battle will be over, because at this point I'm just really fed up. And he's just there taking the waterfalls, and he's going to be roosting off all the damage. But I do get a flinch there, and you see after lefties I'm not going to be able to kill it off. So I'm just, at this point I'm just hoping, please, please, please get a flinch, but I don't, and he gets the roost off. So his health goes all the way back up, and we start again. So his taunt wears off. I'm hoping maybe he'll go for another taunt, because I think he expected this to be a bulk up Floatzel, but it's actually just a Scarf set. So he does just stay in and go for the Steel Wing, which is good, because I guess it makes the battle go a little quicker. But I'm just waterfalling, as I said, and I'm just hoping for crits and whatever. But they're not coming, and he goes for another booster, and I'm just really fed up at this point. I know I'm not going to be able to kill this thing, and I just want him to kill me off. So I'm just praying for a crit on either side of the battlefield at this point. I really couldn't care less. I don't know what else to say here. I'm just repeating myself, aren't I? Really not much to say, so I'll just let you watch. I really should have fast forwarded it here, I suppose. It's just going on and on and on. And he did another boost there. He's at full health, and I've waterfalled, and he's gone for the steel wing. And I survive on 25, so I know, yes, one more hit and I'm dead, and this battle can be over with. Which I suppose isn't the best thing to say, because it should be fun, but I really didn't enjoy this battle all that much. I mean, it was a pretty good battle, but by the end of it, it was so stally. And as you just saw there, he did get a crit, which obviously didn't matter, but it was just to rub it in my face, because obviously I really wanted a crit, but I could not get it. So he just gets a crit to rub it in. But anyway, that's the battle, obviously. If you're still watching, congratulations, you managed to watch one of my most exciting battles ever, don't you think? Everybody loves watching a Skarmory Stool War. But anyway, that was a good battle, ViVi. I enjoyed it somewhat. So, yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.